Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Iron Man issue 10. And I really enjoyed this one because it kind of delved into what Tony's kind of been doing since he got onto that planet, and a little bit more of our situation on that planet. So he's like, yeah, some reason other beings have been pulled to this planet as well. Nobody's really native here at this moment. And they don't know exactly how they've gotten here or what they can do to get off. So they pretty much just made their own kind of life here. So you got all these different people from all these different corners of the galaxy in this place called Megiddo, which also is like the name for Armageddon in Greek. Like where it's around where that kind of place is. It's like, okay, that's interesting choice of words. But he's gotten there. They help him with like food and water and stuff like that. We see his armor is kind of a little bit in disarray, but he still sometimes is able to switch back and forth between like full armor and like kind of just piecemeal armor. So he pretty much gets in contact with the liaison of the colony, Yar, and is trying to kind of figure out what's going on. He sees that one of the people there, Avro X, is like part of like Canadian superhero kind of stuff. And he's been there for like about a year. And yeah, he's got people he misses at home and everything, but they're just pretty much trying to survive at this point. And that the big man in charge will come and talk to him when it's time. Well, Tony then gets called in, and we see that it's Stiltman. I did not expect that, but with all the other different kind of like villains that have been used throughout this run, it really shouldn't be a surprise, but it's kind of nice that he got sucked in here and is just trying to like help them run stuff, and he knows that he's kind of had his like villainous kind of role, so that's why he kind of stays more in the shadows. But he does apologize to Tony for everything. Tony's like, what angle are you playing, man? What are you doing? And he's like, nothing, I'm just trying to help these people. We're all in this situation. We really just need to like band together and do this. It's like, hey, we haven't been able to get off, but I got a new start. Yar got a new start because she was with the Kree, and they kind of just have a nicer kind of life here. And they're like, all right, we're going to need your help with this thing that we call the elements. You'll know when you see it, but we see that he is also dealing with the morphine, and that's going to become an addiction problem. He's got about like a 3-month supply, but he's got to watch it because he could hack into it at any point, and it could get pretty nasty addiction-wise. So that part's going on. He then also gets in on a baseball game that the whole kind of colony is kind of playing, and that was kind of like nice little scene to have Tony kind of blowing off steam in that kind of way. He also then has a conversation with Hellcat where she kind of gets him up to speed of like, okay, Moondragon, help me out. We need to get to Tatu and stop Korvac. And Tony asks her to promise to help him get off the morphine and stuff like that when it comes to time, and of course she agrees. And Tony says he kind of is torn a little bit. He kind of likes it here, but if he doesn't go and stop Korvac and dies there, they won't build that statue of him in Central Park. It's an interesting kind of Tony bravado that he usually does. But then it gets to the point where the elements attack, and Tony gets into his armor. It goes with Avro X, and we see that it's Ultimo. And I'm not that well versed with Ultimo, but he's like, what the hell? It's a planet full of Ultimos. Like, he had seen the destroyed kind of stuff before and was like powering up his armor and everything. The colony uses it to power their turbines and generators. I was like, holy shit. And they're kind of getting their asses kicked because it's a planet full of Ultimos that this could potentially be where they originated from. And Avro X is like, hey, why don't you use your chest beam or whatnot? I was like, well, we'll kind of have to see how that kind of works. But, of course, Yard kind of gets grabbed and the Ultimo eats her. Because he had noticed that it was kind of like a bioenergy created by enzymes. So it's like, oh shit, this thing is kind of eating people. So he blasts it with his unibeam, and then pretty much Stiltman's like, well, we're going to have to find a new face for like the colony. Tony, of course, offers up and says he really wants to help these people. And that's where that ends. It's a really kind of interesting scenario of things going on. It's like, I don't mind this. I like this as a kind of weird, strange setup. But we really got the Korvac story we got to go for. And I'm just like, alright, this isn't bad. Let's see kind of how long this goes on. Maybe like a couple more issues maybe before it could like throw off the pace. It's not that I dislike this, it's like, okay, this seems like it could have been vastly expanded to its own kind of arc, and we gotta watch out that kind of balancing act of exploring this, which is a very interesting premise and setup, versus what we're already going on with Stark and the rest of his interestingly assembled team to go after Korvac. So we'll kind of have to see how this goes. I like this. I like seeing the character development of like Tony trying to fight off the addictive tendencies that he has, while also being like, I kind of like just helping here. Like, he doesn't have to live up to the Iron Man / Tony Stark persona that he's been doing on Earth, and instead just do stuff and help people. But of course, he still has that bigger Avengers level threat of having to go and fight Korvac. Also, I like that like Stiltman was utilized as like, yeah, I got like stuck on this place and I'm helping people. I understand that people are like, you're a villain, dude. I'm like, I'm trying to help you. Let's do that first. So it's, who knows if Tony's team pops up, they are like, hey, we can get these people off. They can go if they want. Stiltman could help out. We'll have to see. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.